Ahimsa satyam akrodhas tyagah shantir apaishunam daya bhuteshva loluptvam mardavam hrira chapalam. Hello friends, this is the second shlok of the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the shlok says, Ahimsa satyam akrodhas, which means non-violence, truth, lack of anger. Tyagah shantir apaishunam, which means renunciation, peace, not finding fault in others. Daya bhuteshva loluptvam, which means mercy on beings, non-covetousness. Mardhavam hrira chapalam, which means humility, modesty, stability. So here Shri Krishna is mentioning that ahimsa, truth, lack of anger, renunciation, peace, not finding fault in others, mercy, non-covetousness, humility, modesty, and stability are the divine qualities which move the jiva towards the higher nature. So again, let's understand how all of these qualities move the jiva towards the Lord. So first one is ahimsa. So ahimsa is often taken to mean pacifism or non-violence, but in reality it means not harming others. There is a difference between non-violence and ahimsa. God is actually not a pacifist. He makes quite a bit of the use of force when it is needed, but this is done not to harm them, but for the benefit of those on whom this force is being used. So similarly, a God realized person never wishes to harm others, but for the benefit of others, he uses force some of the times. He is not a pacifist. He is the one who doesn't want to harm others. The second one is truth. So truth is basically, you can say God is absolute truth in himself. Therefore, those who desire to see God or realize God, they have to be absolutely truthful, otherwise they'll not be able to realize the God. So those people who want to realize God, they cannot lie to others and they cannot lie to themselves as well. Then only they'll be able to realize God. Lying to others indeed is a sin, but a far greater sin is lying to the self. So truth in this sense is not just about lying, but also being true to yourself. Lack of anger is the next one. So anger arises in the one who is dissatisfied. The one who has realized God, he has attained everything and therefore he becomes satisfied. So anger cannot really arise in a person who has realized God. Therefore, if you feel anger, then you have to see within yourself that something is lacking in you, because of which you have not really completely realized the Lord. The next one was renunciation. So basically, one who has tasted the sweet nectar of God realization finds all the other things to be worthless and distasteful. So such a person actually gives up everything and focuses his complete attention on God realization. Therefore, one sign of making spiritual progress is the arisal of renunciation. And then there was peace. So as we've understood for anger also, that the one who has realized God has realized everything. So therefore such a person does not really need anything. So he does not really feel any need to pursue anything, and therefore he becomes peaceful. The next one was not finding fault in others. So a God realized person sees God in all beings and accepts everyone to be a manifestation of divinity in itself, and therefore he finds it futile in finding fault in anyone, because everybody is in some sense carrying out the will of the Lord in one sense or the other. So the one who has realized God realizes this, and therefore he doesn't try to find fault. He just sees that, okay, this is also part of this game which is going on. Next one was mercy. So with God realization, all the miseries of a person actually vanish. He no longer feels any misery, but he sees all the people around him to be miserable. And he sees that the misery that they are creating for themselves, or the suffering that they are creating, it's a creation of themselves. Nobody else is creating it for them. They are creating it for themselves. And so he feels that misery for them. That's why mercy overtakes such a person. Non-covetousness was the other one. So one who has realized God has attained everything. So then what is left for him to covet? Therefore non-covetousness definitely arises in a person who has realized God. Next one was humility. So when the understanding of God dawns on a person, then the person realizes how powerless he is and how ignorant he is. And when a person realizes his own limitations, then naturally he'll become humble. So that's why humility is also a sign that you're making spiritual progress. Modesty is the next one, and it's basically the same as humility. Modesty also arises in the same manner as humility. When a person knows his limitations, then he'll be modest. He'll not brag about his power, his this thing, his that thing, how great he is, and things like that. So he becomes modest by himself. Finally, there was stability. So one who has sheltered himself in God, he basically finds stability because God is all powerful, and he is in control of everything. So when somebody shelters himself in God, he feels reassured, that God is in control of everything and he'll take care of him also. And so he doesn't really feel any worry and becomes quite stable. He doesn't really fluctuate based on changing situations. He knows that in the end, everything will come out to be good. So that's how he attains stability. So that was basically the qualities that were talked about in this shlok. I hope that I have explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.